Singers, this is Alex and another episode of my Singerstory vlog. And this episode is all about Brad Manning, good friend of mine, super cool person, awesome vocal coach, author of Singing Success Method, Master and Mix, Master and Vibrato. So I hope you will enjoy this video and content because this conversation was just great. So let's get started. Oh, hello, Brad. Good to see you again. How
Good
are
to see
you?
you. Good to see you, Alex. I'm fine. Thank you, brother.
Cool. Okay, so let's talk about some vocal technique stuff. And I have these notes right here. And to make long story short, let's be focused on this. So, first of all, how you begin to sing, and what was the first vocal lesson, vocal coaching, and stuff like that? Super interesting.
Well, when I was young, one of my first memories of singing is hearing Tanya Tucker singing Delta Dawn. What's that flower you have on? Could it be a faded rose from days gone by? And she was 13 years old, and my little sister would sing. And it was my stepfather. It was her
Mm-hmm.
father. She's my half sister, but I've never thought of her as my half sister.
Mm-hmm.
But my stepfather would be excited hearing her sing. The rest of us, he rolls eyes like, "Don't you sing? That's my daughter." You know, he favored one or the other. But
Gotcha.
I would secretly sing on my own, but it wasn't cool. When I was young, singing was not cool. But then my father unfortunately died when I was 9, and when I was
I'm
10,
sorry.
I appreciate it. It was such a long time ago, but sometimes it is fresh wound when I talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so one of those guys that you would have wished you could have like connected with, and you never really knew him. And
Yeah.
but he was mean, but he was my father, so you love him no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure there were some nice things about it. I just don't remember them. But I suddenly felt free to sing, which it made me feel a little guilty because here I didn't sing because he was critical.
Mm-hmm.
But then now he's gone, and now I'm singing. You can imagine the mixed feeling.
Yeah.
So here I was listening to Elvis Presley and watching a movie, and I thought, this guy is the coolest person I've ever seen in my life. You know, just the way he would hold himself, and when he would sing, his body, his mind, his voice was electric. And
Mm-hmm.
so his first Elvis Presley CD is Elvis Presley's Greatest Hits. I still remember the amber colored car, and he was like this pretty boy with all this makeup on. I thought, I want to be
Mm-hmm.
like him. He gets all the girls. I was only 10, and so I did.
Wow.
I got a leather jacket and a T-shirt. I put my collar up, and we had a talent contest for school. And
Mm-hmm.
without thinking, I just got up there and went, "You ain't another but a hound dog, crying all the time. You wouldn't nothing but a hound dog." And everybody's like, "What the heck?" And I was impersonating Elvis. And then I was singing to the girls, and I was looking at them, "Love me tender, love me true.
Mm-hmm.
All my dreams come true," whatever the words are. Can't remember.
Mm.
"Love me tender, love me true." And I had vibrato. I wasn't thinking about what I was doing. I was just singing, man. I was having fun. I was a kid.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to ask. So now you think more like, okay, that's more close to vowel, that's more like dampening larynx, vibrato going, but then it was like natural.
Yeah. And then, of course, what happens is, so I win the talent competition. The girls are screaming like crazy. And I'm thinking, there's something to this. I can do this. I'll stick around for this. I'll do this some more. So anyhow, I ended up moving. My mom got remarried. We moved. And pardon me, I'm going to drink water right in the middle of this interview
Yeah, man,
because
cheers, because
see,
hydration.
there you go, toast. See how it tells me when I've done? You got it. Remember your
Yeah,
goals.
awesome. So cheers, bro. Because hydration is our everything. Lubrication. That's good.
When I drink water, I mean it. Now I'm ready for up to 1 p.m. So I keep
Okay.
it a meter. It's a great little. I'm going to get a endorsement deal with them because it's
Mm-hmm.
just a simple little. A lot of them build up a lot of bacteria,
Mm-hmm.
and these like have an anti thing that doesn't you know,
That's cool.
a
That's
billion
cool.
times. You only have to wash it about every 10 times. You fill it up, and I use Kangen water for it, which I love. But anyway, that sounds like a commercial. It's not yet, but it will be one day.
Man, that's super okay, and it's great stuff because hydration, like like sleep time. It's I think two main stuff for a great voice and good shape voice. So yeah, it's okay. It's not commercial endorsement at all.
No, no, but I'm with you. I mean, and it's been very difficult through the years for me to get enough sleep. And if there's any,
Oh,
yeah, if there's anything that I punish my voice with the most is just not enough rest, because then you start
exactly.
compensating. You use muscles that are not supposed to help you,
Yeah.
uh, and you start sacrificing your technique. Instead of singing, you start yelling because it's easier.
But I was thinking about this. In my case, the same, because I have different students from all over the world, and like the time zone and everything. So sometimes I need to have a lesson in, like, 2 a.m. my time, because I need to sleep, but and like no, like this, and
Yeah.
and the next day I need to get up early, like 7 a.m. to have a lesson. Man, and the horrible thing, that was 11 lessons and 10 of them straight without
Oh,
any interruption,
oh.
without having sleep enough. But
There is a proverb. Solomon has a proverb in the Bible that says, "Do not." And I know you're not doing it to get rich. You're doing it because you want to help people. But
exactly.
if you wanted to get rich, we'd sell real estate.
Yeah, man.
Money, and you only have one client at a time, and you
Oh,
show them
man.
a house, they buy it, you sign a contract, and you make $100,000. And if you sell
Exactly.
homes, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but
Let's get back to.
But the proverb says, "Do not wear yourself out to get rich. Show restraint. Have the wisdom to show restraint." And it's not that you're wearing yourself out to get rich, but in the sense, it's like I don't want to tell anybody no.
Exactly the same, man.
Yeah.
That's the same. My girlfriend, my parents, they say like, man, it's okay. It's okay. Hold on. But it's like, if God gave me this, this talent, I need. It's not like, okay, I just can sing right through the whistle voice, like, connecting four of the bridges, and I need to teach. And by the way, when I'm not teaching, it's super boring and it feels like something's wrong. But even if I'm tired and I'm teaching, it's like I can go to like my class or whatever like this, and after 15 minutes, it's like, yeah, that's the result. It's like, I can't compare this with anything. It's super cool
It,
feeling.
well, it really is. As much as fun as it is to sing and enjoyable as it is to sing, and I'm
Yeah,
sure for both of us, it's like even when our voices are tired, we think I should stop. But now I want to sing because I like to sing.
yeah,
Nobody's down. I'm not singing to practice. I'm singing because I actually like it a lot.
exactly.
Makes me feel better. But there is something about giving somebody else their voice, and you've experienced this. I've seen some of your videos. I really, really enjoy your coaching and the results you're getting from people. You get a
Oh,
fantastic understanding. But
thanks, man.
I see, yeah, you're welcome. But I see your face just as you see my face, and somebody gets it. I'm just like, yes, 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 yes. Can you, mad dog? Do it. It's like that. You can be again. You're right. You can be sitting here like this, and all of a sudden somebody does something. You're like, what? Sometimes you're just playing. I don't know about you, but I'm going to make a weird confession right here. There's times I've been so tired from teaching. You probably have a similar confession that between lessons, I have a 10-minute window, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I usually only give myself 5 minutes because I end up greeting and all that time.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I end up giving them a full hour, and I should have given them 50 minutes. But then I go in the bathroom to use the bathroom, and I just turn on the water, and I lean against the wall for 60 seconds to go. Because I know if I fall asleep, I'll like go like this.
Oh man.
So I half sleep. I'm just breathing. All right.
Keep on going.
It's game time.
Yeah.
I gotta get out there and fight. And then I show up, and then I force myself to have energy. But the second I'm playing the piano, second they're doing it, suddenly it's like ignites. Well, music ignites the soul,
Yeah, that's
and the
it.
soul is the fire that can propel the body to do more than what it can normally do. That's why certain athletes like Michael Jordan sometimes just get unconscious. And you think about this. Think about this. I think this is very similar to the voice. When you're making a free throw,
Mm-hmm.
you go this far, this far, this far. Every little muscle in conjunction with every muscle
Yeah,
work at the same time to get a final result. And the exponential math that the brain does on a subconscious level, and this will blow your mind, the
uh-huh.
exponential math for every muscle working together, because it's not just this muscle, but your calf muscle and your knees and your legs, and
Exact. The
your
whole
glutes,
body.
everything is working together. In order for it to work together, every muscle has to cooperate with the right amount of tension at the right amount of time and perfect aim, and you're feeling the atmospheric compression to make
Exactly.
it's multiple hundreds of millions of mathematical computations your brain makes on a subconscious level to get the muscles to do it. That's why it
Exactly.
takes forever to get a robot to make a free throw. And have a
Yeah.
robot go like this and make a shot. It can't.
Yeah.
Can't. And yet Michael Jordan doing that is so we're in the pressure of a game and you making long distance shots with falling away, twisting and turning and hitting nothing but net. The chances literally are so much that on a conscious level, the chances of making that shot are really impossible.
Exactly. Yeah. That's right.
But the soul ignites the body to do more. So that's a person playing with soul, singing with soul. My voice is tired. It's Friday night. For me to jump into an Elvis Presley raspy song with that, I mean, this morning I literally could barely talk. I was up late last night preparing for this vocal camp. I have been working like a maniac. But we started talking about music. Things come alive. My voice opens up.
Yeah.
Little coffee
Man.
doesn't hurt.
Oh, because I'm not drinking coffee at all.
I love.
Dehydration. My mom is, like a fan, like coffee right from since my childhood. But the great thing, I never actually loved coffee. It, it,
Oh,
it wasn't like, oh, that's the coffee. Okay, I'm a singer, I'm a teacher, I'm a coach. No, it was like, okay, it's dehydration. Okay, let it go.
I, I didn't truly love coffee until I was over 40 years old.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Gotcha. All right.
There's a meme on Facebook and Instagram that says first coffee, then I do stuff.
Oh, man.
That's
Gotcha.
me. It's like I wake up and I can't. I go to this coffee shop right by my house. I walk downstairs. I'm in an apartment right now. I sold my house a while ago. Got rid of that. And I'm trying to get into another house. But I've been living in this apartment right next to a beautiful coffee shop with organic everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so I go there and I said, I need to order breakfast, but before, let me get some coffee so I can think, order breakfast, so I can order. It's like, because Stephen Wright says, when I wake up in the morning, I make instant coffee so I have enough energy to make my regular coffee.
God, like before. Okay. Okay.
So I mean, it can dehydrate you in small amounts. It's not bad. Some people really it kills them, and some people drink it and
Yeah,
they're
I know.
fine.
And also the tea, because the tea also it's like dehydration stuff, especially green tea. Oh, that's like,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
felt this. I felt this. I was drinking like green tea, and I thought like it's super cool drink, and in some time it feels like you have over squeezed quartz, like you are
Yep.
compressed without without this flow, lubricated flow, like you feel
It's,
like this.
it's like
Yeah,
it's stuck. It's like a. Have you ever sucked?
scratchy.
Yeah. Have you ever sucked through a straw that collapses? It goes, and it collapses.
Yeah,
You're trying
yeah,
to. And
yeah.
you
Like
come out.
suck.
You're like, just yeah. That's what your voice feels. Like you go.
It's like like over edging, like
Yeah.
someone you are working with, and you are developing edge, and you like try to compress more with cry, but more, and you have this amount of metal, but after this it's like over squeeze, and bam, you have this
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You want them to just float. If you can't float, and to me, the juxtaposition is hard. How much edge and how much freedom.
exactly.
And because if it's freedom, it's not freedom. Because what happens is just Doesn't
Yeah.
produce anything. Pavarotti says, Americans don't like how I sing the high note because Americans always say, Pavarotti, how do you sing the high C? And I say, because I squeeze the voice. You say, open your throat. Open your throat. Words don't even come together. They have to be squeezed. I cry like a baby. I go,
Exactly.
and then I make it louder, which is easy after 20 years, of course.
Yeah. Pavarotti was a really cool guy, and especially this concept. It's like I was thinking about always, and I remember you said about like like digit or like
Figure eight.
yeah. So it's
Temperature, pistachio.
yeah, because like,
Resonate.
and that's the idea of closing the vowel as you go higher. It's like ah, like it's always like this because but when you're about
That was
it's
brilliant.
another.
That was brilliant vocalizing, by
Man,
the way.
I'm
Yeah.
super tired, and it's like,
Me too. I'm like,
that. But you know, it's the same thing. Sometimes I talk like this, super tired. But when I teach, and I forgetting about this, and it's like, okay, like no, 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 like it feels like I'm from.
You sharp. Get it, man. Get it.
Man, but when you're bridging all the passages, it's not like high notes. It's like lower, lower, lower in your mental vision because the throat is open always. Okay, man. Let's do this. I have some issues here, and let's talk about this first. Tension and release. It's for me is super important because a lot of things teachers say you should be completely relaxed, and if I'll be relaxed, the voice will be like this always. You won't be able to sing like Bruno Mars or stuff like that.
That's right.
But it's super important to be in a management style. Like you have release and you have tension. Like I always compare this to like a basketball field or like a ping pong. Like when you're breathing, and also we will talk about this later about support and breathing, because a lot of the times when you're supporting, then students like trying to breathe with this lock feeling and they have no breath.
Mhm.
So this relaxation when you're inhaling and then lock and then like pressing down, supporting. So what you can say about this management tension and also the like TA muscle and stuff like that. So it should be tension and it should be releasing, and that's the balance. Always, it's like a compromise. What do you think
Yes,
about
yes, I love that, and I love that. Even it showed me the fulcrum. There's a fulcrum. You go this way and you lean back way, and then eventually you try to get literally right in the middle. Have you ever done a thing at the gym? Gone to the gym to work out and have a ball, and then they have a flat platform, and you have to stand on it and do shakes, and you go like this the first time. The second time you go like this, and the third time you're just squatting and you're right in the middle. All those muscles, the support muscles, start to stabilize out. I remember trying to hold notes straight and going, oh, I couldn't just go, oh, I go,
unstable sound.
Yeah, new singers have a lack of stability because, again, the air and the vocal cord tension have not come together. And so for me, that's the reason why I have to do lip rolls every day, because it is what you said, holding on and letting go at the same.
Exactly.
When I'm I don't feel great today vocally, but that note is right in place, and I don't have to do anything. The least amount of energy. And I can hold it for a long time, and I've told people through the years, I said, look, it's important that we have this, and can continue to go up.
Yep.
But also find it and just stay there and normalize it. So if A flat is a trouble note for me because I want to push on it, and I'll be honest, I cook my voice, cook it way too hard. I like heavy singing.
Gotcha.
And I also really like singing, but balanced singing just seems too sweet for me,
Gotcha.
I love Bocelli, and I adore what he can do, but sometimes I'm like, I just am way too tough for him.
Gotcha. Yeah, more heavier stuff. Hmm.
So, but I need that. I know what I know. What I need. So I'll go there on a bad day. I'll first go. Okay, there's a little edge, but it's too squeezed.
But more from the headier, more covered,
Yes.
headier, deeper placement position. Yeah.
And then I go to the pure head. And I said, well, that's free, but it's not enough bottom. And then I'll say, when I do this, you'll hear a ping.
Yeah.
At the same time on the.
Yeah, like chiaroscuro. It's like dark and bright at the same time because you're
Right.
balancing this resonance. Exactly. Yeah.
And that is, to me, sometimes the simplest thing is really the best answer. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean by itself it can do everything. Because I think lip rolls are more important now than when I first started. We usually think they're important when you first begin because you got to do this to stretch out. And I know a lot of coaches, my friends, and I hope I'm not stepping on any toes here, but friends of mine say, yeah, I don't even do them anymore. So really? I don't walk anymore and I don't jog anymore.
And it's super important to know how to restart your mechanism because even for me, and we'll talk about this because that's the semi-occluded phonation. When you have a pressure underneath and beneath the folds and against the folds, so it's like stabilizing the compression and vibration. But like every single like laptop or mobile phone, cell phone, whatever, sometimes something goes wrong and you need to restart, like the average stuff. And it's as
Yes.
for and I'm teaching like from super R&B stuff to like brutal hardcore false chord arytenoids engagement, like super powerful stuff, and a lot of belting, high larynx, super open vowel, which yay, like it's super like pushing up the chest voice. But I don't know if you watch the thing I create, like the trainer, like water, like straw in the water. Yeah.
Yes.
And each morning I'm starting from like
Yeah.
super, like from the factory voice.
Yes.
Like every
Factory
single
settings,
bridge without pulling down super head. It's like bridging the first bridge like EF sharp, then like B flat, B high C, and every single right to the whistle voice, slowly, smoother, and then like more medium compression, the click, and then I can add some because I'm like like centralized, and I can go like more covered headier or more relaxed, like more pharynx and nasal stuff, like like neutral vowel, or open into the like super raised larynx and belt the high C. But underneath I have this line without I'm pushing, and I don't have this thin chord compression, and it's like always like so I think every single singer or even teacher or coach should do this semi-occluded phonation, which is or this straw phonation, the resonance buzzing is thin. Like when you have negative, that's
And have
the
you
good
done this
one.
one? Have you done this one too? And a bigger space is better because think about this. What is this? How much space is there in your mouth?
Yeah.
About a cup, maybe if you wide open, but with your mouth closed,
You need to
not much.
open the throat.
So check this out. What you can do.
Yeah, great.
The reason why is what I did is just gave me a bigger mouth.
Yeah.
It's occluded, but I have more space instead of just a space inside my mouth. It's a bigger space, and it prepares you for what the straw does. It prepares you to start opening your mouth and still feeling an open mouth.
Yeah, exactly. And also check this.
See, I can't like strain no matter what.
Yeah, and you know what? Also, the great thing is I call this the concept. So you can create this position when you are belting. Amount of space in throat is like this, and you are opening the mouth wide to like hold the resonance into the mouth. You are opening the vowels, but you can place this V like this. closing the mouth and open the space in throat when you're closing it. So it's also a really important and interesting thing. Like you, when you are thinking about the sweet, like you can go yay or yeah no 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 no. It I feel like I'm super have open throat, but at the same time I'm closing the mouth. And then when you sing, you just drop in the jaw loose. It's more like vertical and balanced position rather than more horizontal and belt like open vowels and larynx. Yeah, so this like tension
Well,
is it's all about the balance. Okay, now let's talk about training sounds because in like teaching for years, I figured like um, success is when student understand that we have training sounds and singing sounds, because when we are doing exercises we have like horrible sounds, but
mhm.
for create this I call this setup package, because in 1 second you need to have like damp larynx, like cracked tongue, raised soft palate, support, cry mechanism, like 12 different issues in 1 second. Bam, you have the position, and we are creating like maximum position. It doesn't mean the sound could be like horrible. For example, like this. If you don't have this pharyngeal stuff and opening the pharynx and like nasal pharynx, oropharynx, and whatever, you're done. Like always the roof. So we are creating this horrible sound, but it creates to train the position, train the muscles, the articulator, and stuff like that. And if the student understand that it's not singing sound, he wouldn't sing with it. It's okay. But a lot of singers think, oh, it's not for me. You're teaching like it's shit. I don't want to sing like this and sound like this. No, man. I need to sing. And when they try to practice, like, with super cool sound, it's always the trouble. Without any, they can't succeed at all. Because the same problem, they're like hidden, because it's like cool sound. I need to work with it. Man, come on, let's cry, let's thin out the chords. No, it's what's that? I need to just push, and maybe someday, in like a year, 2, 5, and they are quitting.
What ends up, I agree with you. And what ends up happening, let me move this out of the way here so you can see what I'm going to show you, is what ends up happening a lot of times is, I don't know if you can see it from here, the words on the board there that say counterintuitive, there it is, counterintuitive. Got all these other just quotes, things that remind me, like at the top says, it says, the way you warm up is the way you're going to sing.
Oh, yeah.
Life is too short to learn slowly. Mixed cells, chest yells. Any fool can yell. It takes the mind of a master to finesse. Sing where you ought to, not where you want to.
Yeah.
In other words, another one said, sing with the voice you have now, then go find the voice you don't have. But right in the middle is those words counterintuitive.
Exactly.
And the reason is because babies, nobody instructs them. Well, there's my high note. Well, can you reshape that? Singing is just making sound.
Exactly.
I mean, that is a loud, high mix. And it's not that far from some stuff that Steve Perry did on Dream On. He's up there. He's just crying on pitch. It's a pretty cry, like Pavarotti said, it's crying. He's not going, Ave Maria. Maria. That's a cry. And then he drops the larynx a little. But it's not.
Yeah. But when you have configuration, when you felt this, when you felt like you can thin out the chords, still feel TA activity, and when you feel you can stretch it, you can add like superpower. But if you never felt this, I know it's, for me, for you, for singers, it's okay because they used to feel this. But new guy who will never say, "Oh man, what's that?"
for him, it's like it's like this. He think like it's super open valve. It's like cricoid tilt. It's like super belt, but it it's it should the singer should spend the time finding this stretch feel, thin out the chords, and then add the stuff. But again, it shouldn't be super singing sound. It can be super horrible, like like child cry or anger or whatever. For example, it's super angry, but the singer wanna sing, like R&B or pop, and you think, oh, it's super aggressive. But if you are dampening larynx too low like this, you need to raise in some point.
Yeah.
So it's like diametrical point.
She had a place in her heart. Well, that's for Michael McDonald, because he's saying, and the reason he sang with such a low larynx. Do you know why? Michael McDonald. You know who he is from Doobie Brothers?
Yeah, for sure.
Man has a problem. Big guy with big old silver beard. Big old
Yeah.
He was young, he had a big beard. He looked like he sang. Just big old beard when nobody had a beard. Big old bushy beard. And in the Doobie Brothers and singing all those harmonies, it's because he had an upright grand and he had 7 brothers and sisters. So he would, he'd be pressing down on the muted pedal, and he'd be singing, "She was
Great, man. Great.
And what it did is it produced this sound that was so odd for everybody else, and it was white boy soul, but it wasn't dirty pop,
Yeah, it's lowered larynx.
It was a lowered larynx, but it was so low that people made fun of him. And it was a flattering thing. It's like it just became a signature. But those things that are signature and quirky with others shouldn't be our norm.
Yeah.
If I sing with too low of a larynx, I'm not Michael McDonald. They will say that's not real. That became organic to him because he put towels and blankets over the piano. And really quiet, so he did wake up his brothers and sisters, and he'd sing all night long. And then when he sang live, that's how he sang.
Exactly.
So everybody has a reason they do this. A gospel singer named Reba Rambo. I've been over to her house a couple of times, and she sings like Patti LaBelle. She goes, "Oh, that's because I woke up. I grew up squealing with the pigs." And so she hit this high note like they're nothing. Patti LaBelle style, really white, and a little white lady, like with old lady too, and killing it. But that was normal to her. Now, some people say, your voice is too whiny for me. And I said, that's what she grew up with.
Yeah. It's she.
Yeah, Elvis Presley grew up around all black people, That's why it's not, I think.
Hey, thank you very much. It's not like, thank you very much.
So thank you very much. Like, oh, man.
And,
it's more of a black thing.
White people, high larynx.
Black people use the high low larynx, with the exception of people like
Chris Tucker, like, are you hearing the words that are coming out of my mouth?
That's just more of a funny, quirky sound. But even look at you take when what's his name? Justin Timberlake and Bryan McKnight did the duet together.
Yep.
And Justin's like, da-da-da.
Yeah, it's super like raised.
Kind of high larynx.
Now he's lowered over the years and warmed up his sound. I don't know if it's intuitive or somebody instructed him to. He only lives 5 miles from my house. I'd love to coach him sometime.
Cool.
He moved out here. I saw him and I was like, I'm freaked. I got stars in my eyes watching him. He's a modern day Elvis. He's such a badass. But anyway, can I say that on here? BA. He's such a BA. Anyway, but Bryan McKnight, Bryan McKnight, It's not really low, but it's
it's damped, not low, damped, I would say.
Yeah. So he doesn't go, my shattered dreams, my shattered dreams, broken hearts, broken hearts. It's not boy pop, pop,
Yeah.
It's like finding that place in between. I talk about
Exactly.
push a volleyball all the way into water till it starts to shake, right? Till
Yeah.
you push underwater, start to shake. Now come back about halfway, and you have some pressure holding it down. You're not just letting it go of it,
Yeah.
and that's like so. I might go,
Oh yeah, more balanced
it's
stuff.
a sweet
Great.
spot where everything
Yeah.
opens. And I have that, like you're saying, top, the bottom resonance,
And the
top
frequencies,
resonance.
the
Yeah,
frequencies, because you have some point of this more back quality and it's like, like no, you can like okay, yeah, triple sensation, great.
yeah,
Exactly,
yeah.
because
The three become
actually
one.
it feels like when I think after the in the middle, okay, like A, B flat, B high, C, and right to C6, it feels like it feels like this. Even on super high note, I still feel this hard palate projection, and ooh, it's like, phew. Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah,
about the larynx, I think when we have okay high, low, but we can think about raised and damped, and that's okay because that's the crucial part. Like super raised, like your choke, you can't
yeah.
even swallow because you can do this, and super low, you can't compress. It's like, but anyway, if you have the student like this, you need to make them do this, and
Yeah.
when he will think he do this, he will do this. So for
You know, it's funny that you say that because when I first latched onto this low larynx years before, I was singing in college,
mhm.
and I was in musical theater, and
Oh, cool.
those are the most smug people in the world. I'm sorry if you're musical theater. Some of them are the most sweet, blessed, wonderful, kind people, and some of them are smug. Like everybody's looking at you about how they would do it better. And I saw this
Yeah.
snot kid going, and I was singing up there, and I was singing an old George Michael tune, the Kissing a Fool, that you are far when I could bend your star. And I was like crying, you are far. I was a little bit high, nasal.
Mm-hmm.
But at least I was in a mix, and like for me, I'm a new singer. I'm just trying to figure it out. And I always did kickboxing and all that stuff, and grew up fighting and boxing. And I don't mean to be violent, but this kid's just looking at me all smug like this, and he's done like this to his friend. And I'm looking down at him, and it was a master class kind of slightly recital thing, like we all got each other. Yeah, for our coach, we had the same coach, and sat down behind him and I flipped him in the back of the head like this, crack. And I leaned forward and I said, "You ever give me that smug look, I'm going to walk up the stage and I'm going to kick you in the teeth. You understand?" And he turned around and goes, "Yeah." He was like,
Gotcha.
and I could tell because, I mean, I was literally filled with anger. And funny thing is, I was a ballet major. I was a dance major doing music theater. And here's this ballet major waxing like he's like going to kill me, you know? And you can't do that. You can't do that. But he literally, everybody's saying he like, give this snotty look. Like, you smug punk. Stop that. And when people do that, when they start going off on people, I say, look, you know what? You have never done anything great yourself. Because people who do great things
Exactly.
know how it was. You'd never, ever in a million years catch Brian McKnight up on his keyboard. Put it down. You suck. You suck so bad. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Can you imagine him? Well, why do you sing? What a hack. But you had people say things to you, and I've had people say, one guy said, look at you with that arrogant look in your face like you think you can sing. You're nowhere near, what's his name, Dimash. They're like, well, okay, fine. Dimash is great. He does his thing. And, I'm sorry you don't like it. I mean, you have absolutely no vocal power. I said, well, I would invite you to make the fly out to Nashville, put your ears 14 inches from my mouth as I hit my heart. And after you peel your eardrums off the wall, I'll hand you a glass of shut. Sometimes the fighter has to come out. You gotta love your enemies, but at the same time, loving can be telling them.
Yeah.
stop it. You have to stop. And you have to love yourself enough to defend yourself when people come at you really hard, because the good people don't do that. You and I think we probably agree on like 95%. And the 5% we're like, you're tomato, you know, this way, that way, and everything.
100%, exactly.
We have so much of the even distribution of resonance. I mean, we probably don't disagree on anything, literally. We really probably don't. And but the fact is, even if we disagreed on a lot, we can be friends. And I got friends that disagree with me on a lot of things, but we don't disagree violently. We disagree with the sense of, I don't know, I could be wrong. And they say to me, man, I could be wrong, but...
And it's like human beings. It's like, you know, the info can be the same, but, you know, the path can be different. But the idea is the same, always.
One point I want to make about this guy is, like, I did hear myself, and I thought, I am kind of nasally. But, you know, you don't need to be in the middle of a performance and having somebody smugly just going, ew, or going like this. He was going like this sometimes. He was going, I mean, that just destroys you. That does not help you. Well, what helps me is somebody said, I kind of like that nasal lilt. It's subtle. It's almost like Willie Nelson. Ooh, I don't want to sound like Willie Nelson. I love his voice, but I don't want to sound. And then, you know, when it was Seth, I went to so much he had me singing James Ingram. And by the time I went there, I thought he was going to be happy about it. I went, just once, can we figure out what we've been doing wrong? Why the good times never last for long? What are we doing wrong? And he goes, okay. You know, Seth talks like this. Okay, you did that almost very well. The larynx is low. Now forget about it. Just sing the song. Don't do anything to your larynx. Let it say. So I went, just once, can we figure out what we've been doing wrong? And I said, is that too high? And he goes, no, not in a million years. I said, I thought my larynx was too high. Is it too whiny? Is it too brassy? No, it's fine. Just leave it. Some people like it. Some people will love it. You know, Stevie Wonder calls me up.
Super high larynx. Come on.
Yeah.
Super. And super nasal.
And squeezed.
Yeah, it's super.
But he's in a mix.
And
and he slides right through his bridges.
Exactly, because compromise.
He calls me, he says, I got this song, a new song I want to play for you over there. And he goes, I just called to say I love you. But and Seth says to him, he goes, Stevie, first of all, you're singing too nasal. It's way too long. I wouldn't have you do it. That's too much, you know. Just too much nay, and not enough he, and bum. You need this. Do more of this. And he studied with Seth and still studies with Seth for 40 years, 50 years. And then he said to him, he said, but the other problem is, this is the cheesiest, stupidest song I've ever heard. And then Seth goes, what do I know? The song became a number one song. He goes, what do I know? You know, he sang it whiny. Girls thought it was charming, sweet. So you have to give them technique and then let them do whatever the hell.
Exactly. And about the Stevie, super cool because, high larynx, sometimes really belty, but closed vowels, which is E's and do's, like, like without L, you know, but still, like, like, I'm like Steve Wonder since my
By the way, I just got to tell you again and again, and not to hold a council of the Mutual Admiration Society meeting in front of everybody, but I just got to tell you, man, your voice freaks me out. You got such capable vocal cords. It's my best description of it. If you ever want me to put anything in writing, I'm happy to do it because I just really admire your talent. And what I would write down is I say, Alex has capable.
Oh, thanks a lot.
And capable. It's you're interesting, and you have to have that because to be compelling, but also to be even more interesting, you have to have a capable voice. And I will say this about my own self. I'll make my confession so nobody can slam me and say you're too late. Somebody wants to slam me and say, "Oh, let me do it. I'm better at it." If you want to pick on me, I'm better at it. My thing is for me, my voice is some days I can do everything, and some days it's like what a piece of crap.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
I don't have nearly the capabilities that you have. I do have a crazy whistle voice. But you have one now too. So
Cool, man.
oh,
But
whistle club.
yeah, and but it's also like a myth, like if you have perfectly trained voice, like 24/7, that this voice will be with you always. It's not truth. Even like we're humans, so even if I go and like walking just down the street and someone like and I have like okay, perfectly supported voice placement, like with perfect resonance buzzing, but my vocal folds are swollen. Not support, not compression, not I know my mental vision of TA balance with CT with arytenoids, like entered, nothing gonna work. It's like it's not like, because that's my favorite vocal check. I'm waking up and like okay, but sometimes
Yeah.
okay.
So, but let's address that for a little. Let's talk about that. I want to. That's a good launch off point. On days, and I'm sure you have experienced this too. I'll bet I'm 99% sure you've experienced the same thing. On days when you go up and you wake up and say, "Yay!" Wow, it's all working great,
Yeah.
and that's fine. Those are blessed days.
Yeah.
Rare, few, and far between. Sometimes you can have 10 days in a row like that, but they're really hard to be consistent.
Yeah.
But the days when you're waking up and it's like this,
Yeah.
the beautiful thing about that is you have neither the strength nor the natural inclination of coordination to prohibit you from singing high. In other words, strength prohibits high singing. So
Yeah.
I'll go, ah.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, okay, it doesn't sound good. I'm just squeaking there, but I feel nothing. Because the chords, because they swell up, and because it's not just being swollen, it's being in a state of fatigue where all they know is just to let go.
Yeah.
And they thin out so much, they zip up until just a tiny little piece is open, and that's it. And I've done that some mornings where I've gone with no voice, and I started hearing going, and I'm like, this is crazy. But then they're coming down, I'm going, and it's that awful.
Mm-hmm.
But on the worst days when my voice is that awful, if I'll let my voice be that awful, I'll eventually go, I may not be perfect, but I'm getting something that I wouldn't have had by allowing my voice to be utter crap. Sometimes it's better. And you had this too. Days when worst day turns out to be your best day because all your built-in presuppositions, your trepidations, your hesitations, your mental conditions that say, I can't do this, I'm having a bad day, put you, that sometimes a state of belief helps you, and sometimes a state of doubt helps you because you're able to discover something else that doesn't rely on your strength. If you rely on more coordination and strength.
Yeah, exactly.
Able to find coordinations. Listen to this. You would think, I like to play basketball. I don't play as much as I want to. I hardly ever play. I used to play like 3 times a week. But you would think that, warming up, maybe do about 10 push-ups and loosen up a little bit, run, some jumping jacks, stretch out a little bit, make some shots. You would think that about 10, 15 minutes, my shot should fall real good. What you wouldn't expect is for me to go in and say, all right, my shot's just not feeling good. Go in and I bench press, I deadlift, I do clean jerks. We go all the way up here, do overhead press, a lot of deadlifts, a lot of bench press, one-arm push-ups. And my arms are so tired, I get there and I can barely pick up the ball. I dribble for a little bit to get some flow, and suddenly, boom, and I'm making everything. Why? Why am I making every shot when I tore my body up?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because my muscles were never the problem.
Yeah.
The coordination is the problem. And I'll tell you one more story here, and I'd love to hear some more questions that I know you have for me. My daughter, I've been training her to play basketball. Last year, when she started her first year, she was like the worst player in her team, and she got the most improved player. She only scored 1 point, but she didn't take very many shots. But she got a lot of steals, rebounds. She learned to dribble much better. She's the most improved player this year, and she's only 11. So the team may only score as a team anywhere from 6 to 10 points or 12 points. It might be like score might be 6 to 15 or something.
Mm-hmm.
They're real short quarters, a short game, and this year the coach couldn't believe how well she was. She was like, oh my gosh. And she came, just getting all the rebounds, blocked shots, steals, dribbling it coast to coast. I mean, literally the transformation. None of her team. She's the second best person on her team. For the whole season, she only had 7 games, a very short season, and scored 36 points in 7 games. And the first game, she didn't score a point. So really averaged about 6 points a game. Mm-hmm. And one time, 6 points in the first quarter, and they only won 10-8, and she scored 6 of their points. These kids were shooting about 1 for 5, but she was just dribble, boom, shoot. And it's because I said, when I was working on her shot, she's like, trying to make this shot. And I said, honey, your problem is, you're trying to shoot a ball.
Uh-huh.
And I said, get away from that. I said, at night, I want you every night. Here's your form. You shoot 100 shots just like this. She goes, without a ball?
Only coordination.
And let me tell you, her young mind waxed philosophical. The second I saw lights come on inside her head. Cool. I said to her, Tess, the ball's not the problem.
Yeah.
So
great story.
I said, you can make 1,000 shots. Now, think about this, because it applies to the voice directly. I promise you, I've made people. You've done this too. I've made people do things that they literally view as utter impossibility by taking them with the form, without making a sound, doing things that would help their form. So just like a shot, you're stroking it over and over and over. But when you're practicing, you're seeing every shot goes in, and your mind doesn't know the difference.
Exactly. Between physical thing and mental. Yeah.
Once you got the ball in your hands, your mind says, oh yeah, I'm used to making it. But some people I'll say, and listen to this, I had a guy, I said, I was training, and we'll get back. I had a guy I was training basketball, and I said, I want you shoot 10 shots, free throws. And he was like, come on, Brett, let's just play. And I go, no, man, your shot's horrible. And he said, but you got good form, but why are you missing? He goes, I don't know, man. And I'm like shooting 9 out of 10, and he's shooting about 2 out of 10. I said, man, close your eyes and picture yourself making the shot. He goes, and I go, no. Keep your arms to your sides. Just close your eyes. He goes, man, I hate this. And he goes, just do it, man. Just listen to me. So he closed his eyes and he went, I go, now picture yourself picking up the ball and shoot. He goes, did you make it? And he goes, no. In his imagination, and many people, I'm telling you, Alex, many people can't imagine themselves. And I mean, think about this. When you hear young Mariah, when she was the best in the world.
Yeah.
When you hear young Mariah do some crazy lick, and then you picture yourself doing it, if you're honest with me, you'll say, picturing myself do that, like, I can't. Because it's like incomprehensible. If you picture yourself jumping up and slam dunking a basketball, I don't know, but I'm guessing you may not be able to slam dunk a basketball. No,
I'm not a basketball guy at all.
Yeah. Okay, so I can, on the best day when I was younger, I can grab the rim, but never could dunk. If I picture myself jumping up, and I can't even picture myself doing that. Now, if I think about it long enough, I can picture myself coming up. But my mind goes, even as I'm picturing it in my mind goes, you can't do that. And a lot of people, when they do that, they're singing something, and their mind, before they even started, their mind's always saying, you can't do that.
Exactly.
So I told this guy, I said, I want you to picture, I mean, by the way, my daughter, she sits there from 10 feet out and can make 15 shots in a row. Unbelievable. Dribbles behind her back, does it in a game. I mean, it's incredible. It is incredible what she has done.
Unbelievable.
I mean, she's 11, and in 2 years of basketball, she grew 10. And they're like, want to put her on this team and develop her and then mold her for college already. And she's 11. And she plays soccer too. Loves that.
Whoa.
And was a fantastic singer.
That's cool.
And her and my son do that. And my son's a great basketball player. He's always had the gift. But he's 12. But anyway, so I told him, I said, this time I want you to picture shooting it. But I want you to picture that my brain got put inside your head. And I'm shooting the ball, but I'm using your body. Did you make it? And he goes, yeah.
Yeah.
I said, now I want you to shoot again, but this time you're shooting it, but I want you to picture that your arms have a predestined, now think about this, a predestined mechanism that your arm is going to take off and it can only go in one direction, and the ball only has one path, and I want you to see it leaving the tip of your finger and going in there. Before it goes in there, it goes in now. Now shoot the ball and hear a swish in your mind, and he goes, oh my gosh. Because I swish. I said, do that again. Now make 10 in a row. And he's just shooting. He was like, I said, now use your arms to shoot. And he goes like that. Wow. I said, pick up the ball like this. And he goes, ready to shoot? He goes, yeah. I said, close your eyes.
Yeah.
And he went like this. And he went, swish. And he opened his eyes and went, what just happened?
Incredible.
And he said, by the end of the day, he kept doing some of these mental exercises where he was singing. He had but the mechanism has to be right. You can't shoot like this and expect to make it. He already had a good mechanism, but doubt was killing him. Whether a person believes in the Bible story or not, I happen to believe it. I don't care if they believe it or not. But I love the story about Jesus walking on water.
And Peter,
Peter, he says, hey, Peter, can I do that?
Oh, yeah, man.
Jesus, he said, Jesus, hey, is that you? Is that a ghost? No, it's just me. I wanted to go for a walk. Come on, man. Let's do it. Peter goes, all right. I ain't even going to try my bathtub. I'm going to fall and hurt myself, you know. And he takes off hiking across the water. And then probably because he was a songwriter, he probably alliterated and said, wind, waves, water, whoa. It started to sing.
Yeah.
He grabs him, pulls him up by the arm, and he says 5 incredible words to him. And you can think about this. You can say this to your students over and over. When they're doing something incredible, and then the one thing that prohibits them from doing this, he says, Peter, why did you doubt?
Yeah.
And that word doubt is a Greek word that means to judge between two, the reality of what is happening versus what you think should be.
Exactly. Mental vision and mental,
Yes.
Same.
You should be failing. You think, wait a minute, wind, waves, water, whoa. Wait on water? No, I can't do this.
Exactly.
Why did you doubt? You were. It's almost as if he were saying, "Man, you walked here, and here was impressive." And he grabs and pulls him back up, and then walks back to the boat. Come on, let's walk. All right, we're doing this now. Oh, I mean, I ain't gonna try that. It's an incredible thing. Now, people don't have to believe it; they don't want to, but they can at least see the analogy. Some people, like, there's times where I've made 25, 28, 29, and I will freak out when I get to 30. All I have to do is, why do you doubt? You're making them. Mm-hmm. You're not missing. And the other day, not from the free throw line, from about 8 feet out, I was working on left-hand shots and right-hand shots.
Whoa.
And I got my left hand. I made like 15 in a row from 8 feet out, and then I switched to my right hand. I said, I'm in the habit of not missing. I'm in the habit of making it.
Mm-hmm.
These are my atomic habits that I won't fail until I stop and say, can't miss, I can't miss, I can't miss. This is what I do. I make shots. Don't change anything. Don't change anything.
Yeah.
Suddenly, boom, I'm counting. It's like 105, 106, 107. And some guys, I'm only 8 feet out, but those are important shots. And these guys will say, hey man, you want to play? And the guy, he's on our team. That's what they say.
Cool.
Because that's a guy who doesn't miss. And guess what? My first 3 shots I missed.
Whoa.
In the game, I missed. But you know what? I missed without conscience. I kept shooting. And they kept throwing me the ball. We know you make it. And then my habits kicked in, and I just started making them. And they're like, oh, and it's when the brothers say this, it makes a white guy feel good. I'm just going to say it.
Cool.
When a black man goes, oh, man, ooh, get cold, because the guy's got a hand.
Game.
And it swish, and another one falling away, swish, and he's like, he goes, that's don't miss over there. That's don't miss. That's don't miss.
Yeah,
and that's you look at how much you are that guy, dude. I'm just trying to show all this bro love, dude, but it's true, man. I'm not flattering you. Anybody who knows you, knows it's true. Compliments are paid. Flattery is given. It's not earned. Compliments you earn. You earn the compliment. I gotta dig in. I gotta pay you because I owe you compliments. Mm-hmm. And you earn this, man. And you're that guy who doesn't miss, man. Because you've done it so many times. You're like, man, I'll keep shooting. If I miss, I don't care. I'm a couple for making it. And that's
Exactly.
the psychology of singing, that once you have the technical presuppositions that you and I both share, the mental battle is just as important, as you know already, as the technical battle.
Yeah, for sure.
See how tired I was and how energetic we
No,
both.
man, at all. And you know what? And also, I was thinking about this. When I was a kid, in my house, I was listening to, hard rock, heavy metal bands, like, from classic rock, like Led Zeppelin, like Deep Purple. And for me, like when young Dylan was singing Child in Time, and that was a five, I guess, even for me, I was a 10-year kid, it was okay. Connected full voice, it's okay. Now, like the contemporary pop scene is like, now high pitches. There are like A4 super high, B flat for super high, and like singers who are trying to develop their skills, they already has this mindset. They're thinking, okay, I need to learn how to sing the super high notes, B flat. And for me, when somebody is calling like, man, I need to sing super high. I need to hit the A4, and I have my single. I need to be recorded this, and I think, okay, man, A4. It's like it's for me slow. No, it was low note before I was developing like my vision about cricothyroid and stuff like that. For me, it was okay. That's connected voice. Like bunch of singers were doing this. So this mindset, he's coming here and it's super high. Like he's not creating the tone, but already he's like squeezed. Like before even the airflow going, before even the place, the hard or soft palate, it's like squeezed everything. And it's super
But the
important to think.
beautiful thing that you're doing, though, Alex, that we are doing, we are normalizing great singing. We're not even saying it ain't even that great if you can do that. We're saying that's just what's expected. That's what all of us. So that's what I tell people. Say, man, if I could just sing high C, I said, man, don't stop there, man. Well, what high C is like, that's nothing, man. Now singing with the quality that I want, I don't have the quality that I want.
It's another story. We are talking now about creating sounds, not like like singing with soul and you have the payment, so the audience wants it. It's another story. We are talking about creating human sounds, compressing, balancing the resonance.
But once they have that freedom that we normalize, we make it normal to do that. And then it's like, now we got to instill the magic in your voice. And that's why style is so important. All the little subtleties and style. And I tell people, and I think I'm going to have to finish here because it's 12:04, but
okay.
But some fun, and I wouldn't mind doing a part 2 of these because I've really enjoyed geeking out with you. Just a nerd time, man.
Yeah,
man, it's a blast. It's a bro time, man. I love it. But I'll leave you with this. I say, style is not about licks, tricks, and
exactly,
and just tons of mix. You can be stylistic, singing one note over. You could sing Mary Had a Little Lamb and sing it all on the same note and be stylistic. If I went here, if I just be flat, I'd say, Mary had a little lamb, whose fleece was white as snow. Everywhere that Mary went,
yeah.
Said to go. I mean, it's only one note.
Exactly.
And then you said one other note. Oh, Mary, where'd you go? Where'd you go? And I'm just improvising, and it's just Mary, and it's only 4 notes.
Yeah.
But nobody's like going, give me all this high note. I mean, I have them if I need them. But what's important is that you have all of this, and then you have the ability to communicate really effectively and powerfully on just one note.
Yeah.
My version, I'm not sure if you heard my full version of Mary Had a Little Lamb. I've never released it. It's a piano version. It's way different than what you think. And when I performed it in Italy, the women start crying.
Whoa.
I mean, and almost every single time, like tears, and it's different than what you would think when you hear it. You're like, oh, I get it. I get it. And it's just it's the original melody, but the chords I put on, the way I sing it, and I get to the and I'm telling you, squash that voice, pull back. Can you be emotional with this much?
Yeah.
Because I'm not a violent man, even though I study a lot of martial arts. But what is more scary if some guy comes at you, yeah, I'm gonna kill you. You don't like that? Or guy, I'm gonna kill you.
Man, exactly. I know this thing. Yeah.
I'm gonna kill him.
Yeah.
But if somebody talks to me and they come up to me and they start to push me, because I'm a ton of training, and they'll push me and I'll talk to them and say, man, I'm telling you right now, you're in over your head. The way this is going down in your mind is not the way this is going down.
Yeah.
The guy says, oh yeah, you think I said, look, I'm just telling you right now, the way this is going down in your mind is not the way. And then my friends will start laughing and go, don't do it. And this to the other guy. To the other guy, they go, what, this guy? And this guy's bigger than me. And like, what's he going to do? I say, I'll break your arm if you touch me. You're going to break my arm. I say, yeah. I said, if you like it, we can be friends, and I'll be nice and kind and show you in slow motion how to do it, and then I'll speed it up, but I won't do it. And I had one guy like look at me all confused and looked at my friends and goes, dude, he'll snap your arm fast like a twig. And I show him a couple moves, and I show him some of the standing Kimura and a couple other things, a couple arm breaks, and I lock my hand in there and I pull on his wrist, and I just throw this couple, just 5 or 6 different angles to break his arm, and he goes, wow, you could have broken my arm. Gosh. And this dude is rubbing his arm and I said, see, and that's the confidence of knowing puts you, now think about this, fighter swag, kind of Elvis Presley saying, if you train fighter swag is the confidence of knowing, and the confidence of knowing is what makes you be able to do this much and get this much.
Yeah.
Some people do this much and the result is here. Some people barely sing. I mean, Chris Martin from Coldplay barely sings, and you're like, wow.
But from the other hand, it's like a demo version, like
yeah.
Whoa, what was that? It's like boom, like this.
You know what it is? And I'll leave you with this. People like Christina Aguilera, and I'm sorry to call her out by name because it's kind of mean and rude, but I don't care because she ruins a lot of people's voices. People are over singing to try to keep up with her. Guess who else is trying to over singing to try to keep up with her? Her. She is. She's trying to keep up with herself because she sings higher, harder, pushier than the song is asking. She doesn't sing for the song, she sings for herself. And my thing about people like her, and I hate to actually call her out, but the only reason I do that is tell people, hey, this is the way not to do it. And that's me, because there's some things I can appreciate about her abilities. There's some things she does that's really amazing, but she over sings, and I hear girls doing all the stuff, and they're hurting themselves.
Yeah, but
my point about her is what she is trying to do still is she's still trying to prove that she can sing.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
And there's a point where you got to stop all of it and be okay with just being right here, singing Mary Had a Little Lamb to my kids at night, singing a little kids song as they're going to sleep, and being happy with that. Mm-hmm. And knowing that I'm creating more joy with them. They're my number one audience. I don't really give a crap about the rest of my audience. I love them, but it's nowhere near putting my kids to sleep and just calming them, you know. Mm-hmm. My good dear brother, I really have to run.
Okay, man, and you know what? I have these notes, but this hour was, best over best. Nothing from here, but all through the heart. And so, man,
well,
that was
let's
awesome.
Do the heart, and let's have a part 2 where we go from the book, you know.
Yeah. So, that's for sure, bro.
I'm just glad to me, for Music City, Nashville, it's all about building a relationship with people. You build the relationship, and then you do the stuff on the other side. later on. But this is I'd rather have the relationship first. We can fill in the details later.
Awesome. I
All right.
think this year I'll have some workshop in Europe and also in the United States, New Jersey, New York, and LA. And I think I might be in Nashville just for a cup of
We should hang
herbal tea.
Yeah, we should do some writing and maybe vocalize each other, and
Oh man, that would be awesome.
would be a blast. All right, my friend, take care.
God bless you, bro.
God bless you,
See
brother.
ya. Have
Take
a
care.
great day. Bye bye.